What is my purpose? What am I here to contribute? What lights me up and aligns with my unique gifts? And then you got to sit in silence and be patient. So I don't know about you, but patience is not my strong suit.
The old business paradigm is crumbling before our eyes, and the world needs high-achieving entrepreneurs who are ready to break the mold. Welcome to the Epic AF podcast, where groundbreaking, paradigm-shifting change is the only option. If you're done with standard methods and you're ready to disrupt, then you are in the right place. I'm Kelly O'Neill, an award-winning brand strategist, visionary leader, and unapologetic entrepreneur. This podcast is more than a show. It's a hub for big thinkers, the disruptors, and those that are ready to shatter outdated expectations. Subscribe now, and let's rewrite the rules of entrepreneurship together.
Hey everyone, it's Kelly O'Neill, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of the Epic AF podcast, the podcast for extraordinary entrepreneurs and visionaries who are looking to shake up the status quo and live life on their own terms. So this podcast is sequential. This season of it is, at least. So if this is your first episode, you are going to want to back up to the first one and start there so that you can follow along as we build your epic AF life and business. In this episode, we're going to dive deep into your purpose. And that is something that fuels and ignites your epic journey. Okay. So this is one of those things that I used to actually think was a little fluffy, a little lame, a little overdone, and I literally couldn't be more wrong. So this is something that is going to change the way you live and change the way that you work. So let's dive in. All right, guys, today we are going to talk about your purpose. And this is one of those words that often gets tossed around without truly grasping the actual weight of it. In fact, I'm going to tell you guys a story. I remember being a part of various seminars or coaching groups when I was starting my entrepreneurial journey, and they threw this word around. And I got to tell you, frankly, I thought it was fucking lame. I can't lie. Like, I really did. I thought it was lame. And when it would come up, I would promptly duck out of the room, clacking my little Louboutins down the seminar conference center to Starbucks to get a triple almond milk espresso and surf social media until we got back to real business. Like, I kind of felt like this whole purpose thing was only for, this is going to sound so terrible, but I really thought it was like only for smelly hippies that were rocking around in Birkenstocks and dreadlocks with their weird hemp outfits, smoking weed, or like the sheeple in the coaching industry. Now, let me also tell you, I could be quite judgy before my healing crisis. So that was back in those times. I am no longer that judgy by a long shot. I was so misinformed. I was so wrong. And I was sipping from the cup of mediocrity. In fact, quite frankly, I might have been gulping from it at that point. When you experience, though, I will tell you from being on the other side, when you experience living from your purpose, you are going to realize that it is the bedrock of everything that matters. It is the why behind what you do. It is the fuel that powers you, and it is the anchor that keeps you steady, even in the storms. Okay. I learned this the hard way, right? I learned my purpose the really, really hard way through loss, misalignment, and ultimately like the complete breakdown of everything that I had worked for and built. And I thought that breakdown was going to destroy me, quite frankly. I really did. I really thought it was going to destroy me. I didn't know if I was going to get back up from that one. But what happened was it led me to a breakthrough experience that was the exact experience that brought me back to my true purpose, right? That experience, the thing that I thought was going to destroy me, actually led me home. So for me, my purpose became clear in one of the most transformative moments of my life, right? So after the dust of my insolvency had settled, I found myself sitting in a ceremony guided by my shaman, right? The irony, I know it sounds ironic, like the irony of being the smelly hippie is not lost on me, but I am now a proud smelly hippie. I don't smell though, but you know what I mean. So I had been through this intense healing, right? Intense healing process. And I had been, when I started to look at myself, I was shedding all of these layers of who I thought I was, who I thought I was supposed to be. And I was facing these painful truths of my own choices. And I finally surrendered to receive whatever the universe wanted to show me, right? Like that was part of my epic decision. I was just like, look, clearly my way didn't work. Show me. And in the middle of this ceremony, my shaman kind of looked over at me with, like, she's got this look that she gives me when she has been hit with profound information. And generally she'll get stuff when she knows I'm ready to hear it. And that's exactly what happened, right? And I was ready for this information. So what happened was, apparently I'm finally ready to hear this information. And then she looks at me and she spoke these words that would literally change everything for me. She told me what my purpose was, right? The reason that I reincarnated on earth. And this is what she said to me. She said, Kelly, your purpose is one of acceleration, liberation, and disruption. You are here as a catalyst meant to set people free from the chains that hold them back. These karmic cycles, these patterns, the beliefs that keep them small. You carry a really unique calling, and that is to guide others toward a life lived with intention, love, and choice. Your gift lies in being able to turn chaos into clarity and transforming disorder into structured pathways and opening doors to new possibilities. Liberation and disruption are at the core of your being. It is the essence of why you are here. You see the constraints that others cannot see, and you recognize the ways that they are held back from their potential. You are here to dismantle those limitations and to take apart the outdated frameworks and help people rebuild from a place of truth and a place of purpose. She said, your energy is like a clearing force, right? It sweeps away the confusion, the fear, and the limitations that keep others stuck. And you provide a clarity where there was only uncertainty. And you build structure from what once seemed chaotic. You're able to turn obstacles into opportunities, and your presence alone invites transformation. She said, Kelly, your purpose is rooted in freedom and revolution. You're here to help people step into that life aligned with love and to show them that they have the power to choose always. This is your calling, to be the one who guides others out of the dark and into a life that reflects their highest potential. You disrupt, you liberate, and through that, you give them the gift of their own power. I mean, now, thank God I was recording that. Thank God I was recording that, right? And I have it written here so that I could read it because clearly I don't remember all of that on the own top of my head. But I will tell you, if you've ever had psychic chills when you know something is like, I had full body chills. I look like a damn chicken, right? That was my holy fuck moment, right? You guys want our number now, right? I mean, it was insane. And I literally had this moment, right? Where when she said that, I knew it wasn't bullshit. I knew that it wasn't random because there were too many things in my life that aligned with that truth. I mean, I must have read that thing 1,000 times I must have read that thing 1,000 times as I have been on my journey, because it brings me back to home. It really feels like the truth of me. I actually had a client say to me once, someone in an interview asked me at one time, they said, "What is the best compliment that you've ever received?" And I said, one of my clients said to me, "Kelly, you are like Michelangelo. You see the angel in the marble and you carve until you set it free. That's what you do for people. You see their potential and you carve the bullshit out until you set them free to be who they are meant to be." And I thought that was like, I mean, it literally made me cry, right? It was like the most beautiful thing anyone has ever said to me. And I do think that that's been a gift of mine since I was younger. I've always been able to see people's potential. I've always been able to help them rise above. You know, it's, as she's telling me this, it's like my childhood made sense. My things I had gone through in my life that I thought were there to destroy me were actually there to train me for what I was meant to do on this planet. I saw also why my business fell apart. I remember things that people had said to me that I'd kind of ignored over the years, right? It's like, it was literally like, you know, someone says they had those experiences of their life flashing before them. That's exactly what happened for me. Like my life to that date kind of flashed before me. And when she finished, I had this knowing that settled over me. I mean, that was it, right? That was it. This was the truth that I had been searching for. It was my purpose laid out in words. And I could finally feel it in every fiber of my being. In that moment, everything that, like I said, everything that happened in my life, it just like made perfect sense. And it was like this universe turned on, like this light bulb in my brain, with all of the illuminations of the setbacks and the challenges and the lessons. And again, it was like, oh my God, it was all training to get me back into alignment with my true self. You know, I had such understanding and peace that the journey, why I got born into the family I was born into, right? Why my journey had been such a chaotic mess. And I had spent so many years out of alignment with my purpose, pushing, scraping for that success in a way that went against everything that I was truly meant to be and do. So no wonder my life felt like a never-ending shit show, right? I had been running, not knowingly, I'd been running from my purpose instead of living by it. And the universe had decided it was time to bring me back, right? And that's really what happened in that moment. So living in from a place of purpose isn't just, and when she told me this, it's like all of a sudden, all that judgment that I had, it kind of dissipated, because I realized living from a place of purpose isn't just a feel-good concept. It's the most powerful way to live, because purpose then now acts as your internal compass. It guides your decisions. It energizes your actions, and it helps you align your work with who you are at your core. So when you're in alignment with your purpose, there is a clarity and a flow that can't be faked. It can't be hustled, guys. You're no longer forcing things to work. You're allowing your purpose to pull you forward. This isn't just some abstract idea. It's something that we now make a core part of our services at Fusion Core, right? Where we actually create something called the Fusion Core DNA map for our clients. And we don't just apply this approach to our clients. It's literally integrated into not only our clients' lives, but their company's works. It's integrated into our team culture too. Everyone who joins our organization gets the same opportunity to connect with their purpose, because I have my shaman on retainer for my company. So if you're not, and here's why. If you're not working from that place, you're truly not bringing your whole self to the table. And without that alignment, you're simply just kind of like spinning your wheels, right? You're hustling, you're grinding. You're caught up in the chaos rather than creating from that place. So that's why my shaman and I are actually developing a certification program to teach other healers and energy workers how to create those fusion core DNA maps and to carry out this transformative work. I'll tell you, I've never given it to a client that wasn't just mind blown. And from that place is where I start to do their business strategies. Right? So we're creating this certification called Energy Core because the world needs this level of alignment, clarity, and energetic mastery now more than ever. So this idea of purpose and people knowing their purpose has become the foundation of everything that we do. It's the why we keep coming back to whatever we're doing. It's how we filter every decision that we're making. Because again, when you're aligned with that purpose, you're not just building a business, you're building a legacy. And that legacy reflects why you are truly here. So I want to talk to you a little bit about discovering your purpose and how you're going to find this elusive purpose, right? Because not every one of you obviously has a shaman that you are working with. Some of you might actually be clear on your purpose. And if you are, congratulations, you are ahead of the fold. Like I didn't even get mine. I am 51 as I'm recording this podcast, and I didn't even understand mine really until last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, it was about 2 years now. That's only as long as I've gotten it, right? But I get it because it's a daunting question. What's my purpose? It's so much bigger than people think. But there's a reason it's so essential to your epic journey, right? So when you understand your purpose, you've got that clear destination to aim for. You're not chasing success for the sake of it. You're building something that's in alignment with your highest potential. And that kind of clarity is rare and it's powerful and allows you to cut through those distractions and stay focused and make decisions with confidence, knowing that every step you take brings you closer to that life and business, right? The one that you're meant to create. So let's walk through a process to help you begin to understand this journey of your discovery, right? Because purpose isn't something that you can just rush. It requires deep reflection. It requires honesty. It requires openness, to whatever the universe has to show you. So I want to give you guys an actionable strategy to discover your purpose. Okay. So again, this isn't an easy answer. This is about connecting with the core of who you are and allowing it to like guide your life and work. So here's the way that you get started. The first thing that I want you to do is I want you to set the intention for clarity. So setting intentions is really powerful. It's not something that's just like woo-woo, right? It's really powerful. So I want you to begin by setting a clear intention. And you can even say to yourself out loud, I am open to discovering my true purpose, right? I'm ready to listen and to receive guidance. That sets the stage and lets the universe know you're serious, okay? I want you to create a sacred space for reflection. So this could be a room in your house. This could be a park that you go to. For me, I often go out to the lake, right? That's my sacred space. Or I also have a spot in my backyard. So I want you to find a quiet, comfortable place where you're not going to be interrupted. You can bring a journal. I mean, if you're inside, you can, I don't care if you're outside, light a candle, make a space that feels special, right? And the reason why is purpose work requires focus and presence. So I want you to eliminate those distractions and prepare yourself to go deep. 3 is challenging. The third step in this can be challenging for people. Sit in meditation and connect with your higher self. So if you are not used to meditating, it can be challenging, right? Because our minds are they race, right? And we're easily distracted. So, one of the things that you can do very easily is just follow your breath. And you can even think to yourself, I set the intention to find my purpose, right? And close your eyes, take some deep breaths, and allow yourself to connect with the energy that's within you and around you. And visualize a light at your core that grows brighter with each breath. grounding you and opening you to receive the insights. Next, you're going to ask the universe for clarity. So in your mind or out loud, you can ask like, what is my purpose? What am I here to contribute? What lights me up and aligns with my unique gifts? And then you got to sit in silence and be patient. So I don't know about you, but patience is not my strong suit. So this is a time that's going to give you an opportunity to practice, right? You can't expect immediate answers. Sometimes purpose reveals itself gradually, right? Sometimes it takes a little while. Like you may not get it in that setting. It could be like 2 weeks later when you're at the grocery store and you reach for the milk and all of a sudden you're like, oh my God, I got it, right? It could be like that. You don't know. So just be on the lookout for it. Next, what I want you to do is I want you to journal through some guided questions. So if you've got your journal, open it, and I'll give you some questions right now that you can answer without overthinking, right? So I want you just to kind of let your answers flow. Like, don't overthink it. So here's some questions I would ask yourself. Like, what activities make me lose track of time? Like, what are the things that I do that make me lose track of time? What do people come to me for advice on? When do I feel most alive and energized? Another good one is, what challenges have I overcome that I want to help others navigate? I mean, this is like, now that I understand my purpose, I'm like, oh, well, that makes a lot of sense, right? And here's one more. If I could make one lasting impact on the world, what would it be, right? So for me, one of the things that I always used to say, even when I was younger, is, and I started in business, I've been saying this for 24 years. I want to help people live from a place of choice. I've always said that. It's why I went down the path of entrepreneurship after I left corporate America. I wanted to help people live from a place of choice. And when people asked me what I wanted, I said, I want to live from a place of choice. Like, I want to have that level of freedom. So that came back up in my purpose work. Next, I want you to notice the pattern and themes that you start to see in your answers. So look back over your answers and I want you to highlight any of the recurring themes or words, right? Is there a common thread that points to a specific type of work, a cause, an experience? Often our purpose hides in the patterns of our passions and our strengths and our lived experience. So everything that like my purpose unfolded, that's exactly it. The other thing that you can do is you can hire, I mean, there are purpose coaches out there. I've not personally worked with one. You know, again, this is something that our energy core coaches do, where they channel your purpose for you, much like my shaman does. That's something that you could also do as well. And also, you could sit in ceremony if that's something that you feel drawn to, and you're getting onto the hippier side like me, and kind of consider like creating a personal ceremonial or a ritual to honor the search for your purpose, like lighting a candle, speaking your intentions. You know, you could walk a labyrinth, you could do whatever you do in your own personal ceremony, and give some space for your answers to come. But most importantly, I want you to stay open to signs and insights. When you ask the universe for guidance, it will show up, right? And the faster that it shows up has to do with your alignment to it, right? So purpose doesn't always arrive in a single aha moment. Like I remember even when she was reading or when she was saying to me, my purpose, right? She was channeling it and saying it to me. And I remember thinking, okay, that makes sense. And I would literally I'd be like, oh yeah, well, I used to say this, or, oh, well, maybe that's why I ended up choosing this route, or, oh, that's why that felt so wrong. So it's not like it always arrives in a single aha moment. The universe has been trying to show me my purpose my entire life, but stay open to the signs, your dreams. That's another one. For those of you who dream, I'm a vivid dreamer. For those of you who are dreamers, pay attention to your dreams. Keep a notebook next to your bed. As soon as you get up, write down your dreams and some of those intuitive nudges. Purpose often will reveal itself in layers, and each step brings you closer to clarity. And then make sure that you're revisiting this journal regularly. And as you grow and evolve, your understanding of your purpose will deepen, right? So add new insights and let your purpose evolve with you. And then finally, you want to align your actions to this. So once you begin to see your purpose take shape or you have a clear definition of it, literally align everything to it. My entire business is built around my purpose and genius and desires, all of it. There's not one thing in there that does not align with my purpose and my genius and desires. My business was built to be epic, right? My final thought for you is your purpose isn't just a destination, right? It's a way of living. So bring it into your work, bring it into your relationships, and bring it into your decisions. Purpose only has power when you put it into practice. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I'll see you next time.